this is ridiculous. Like, this car is ridiculous. I can see why a lot of people get the SS, but I'm gonna make it make sense. Be sure to drive this before you get the SS, because nowadays a brand new SS, fully loaded, fully equipped, the way you want it, spec'd out crazy, is gonna run you about 55, maybe 60 grand. I think you better off biting a bullet and just get this. You hear that engine whine? Again, it's crazy. It's just crazy. It's super crazy how you got 650 horsepower, 650 pound-feet of torque, and everybody's just driving nonchalant, like, you know, not nonchalant, just, I don't know, they don't know what this is, not realizing that this is hypercar territory, and that's why I got it. Again, if I would have got this before the Chargers, both of them that I had, I would have been 3 years into my payment. No, 2 years into the payment. You know, one and 8 months. 1 year and 8 months into the payment. You know what I'm saying? Like, this just is it. You know, after knowing that you got so much horsepower, so much torque, you just don't care. Like, I had a Hellcat pull up next to me. Beautiful. I love the Hellcats. I'm not trying to rain on nobody's parade. Have fun. But it's like, unless you got mods, that's the only way where it's me giving you the time, the day and the time, to be honest. You know what I'm saying? Again, this is why I just wanted this car. It's something about knowing that you got that type of power, even if you never use it. Knowing that you have that much power in your hands. You understand? It's like you became, I'll use this analogy, you became president from one day to the next. If you catch my drift. The bumps, it absorbs it well. Visibility sucks. It sucks. Again, look at that. I'm doing 35 right now, and you hear it. And the other day I drove it. You guys are gonna meme that. The other day I drove it, and my wife was outside, and I asked her, I said, did you hear the whine? And she said, yes. I said, no, not the growl. Did you hear the whine? And she said, yes, I know what a whine is. You know, I talk, my wife, she don't care about cars like I do. Of course, she's not an enthusiast, but I talk her ear off of cars. I could talk about cars all day long. I think me and Doug DeMuro get along just great. A lot of y'all, Stratman, I'm hoping to, you know, meet with these guys. Again, this is my dream car. This is my dream car. And what makes it my dream car is the fact that it's American. I'm sure it's fairly cheap to maintain. You know, parts are cheap. We won't have to get them shipped from overseas or whatever because it's not German. No pun intended. And it's fully loaded. It's fully loaded. It's loaded. And look, I lay the power down on curves like I do 70 miles an hour on curves, and this car is like, is that all you got? So I'm gonna assume when it gets scary is that like in the hundreds. And even I was doing some numbers the other day, and let me tell you, even at those kind of numbers, those 3-digit numbers, when them curves come up, this thing is eating, because I was doing them type of numbers and I stepped on it. And, you know, in your mind, you're waiting for the car to kind of slow itself down because of the weight. The weight is going to help it kind of slow itself down after going those crazy speeds. So, but this car didn't. It's almost like it just stayed there steady. That was scary. Like that kind of, I was like, yo, this is crazy. Like, I'm sure there are a lot of people out there that we just don't hear about, and I'm sure we've seen it on the news where it's just been an accident. You know, people died. I'm sure people have died. This is crazy. This is a lot of power, a lot of power. And look, we are on tour mode. I forgot. I'm gonna put it on track mode. I'm on track mode right now, and the steering wheel, it got so heavy. And I said earlier, I wish the steering wheel would have been a little thicker, but I'm sure that would have made it feel a lot more uncomfortable. But then the way it hugs, and it's wet right now, and I feel so confident behind the wheel. Again, it'll slip a little, it might hydroplane too, but it works. Like, it's crazy. I'm gonna take it off of track mode only because it's wet. Let's play it safe. It's my second day with the car. I don't want to rap. But oh man, and again, it's that this is like that status. Like, I felt like I've reached that status to where a Lambo will pull up in, and it's like, all right, he's kind of worth my time. You know what I'm saying? Lambos and up. I love them all. They're all unique in its own way. I just love this because this is by far the total package for the price. They have market the price just a little bit, but not as much as they did the Hellcats, and even the Scat Packs are now crazy. Like a Scat Pack, depending on where you go, $69,000. You are out of your rabbit behind mind if you think I'm gonna pay $70,000 for 480 horses. It is not happening. It is not happening. Hear that? Supercharger whine. Doing numbers right now. Doing numbers, I'm telling you. The 0 to 60 on this is so accurate. We'll get to that in another video. Alright. Clutch one more time. It's like watching a review of a Charger whining. You know what I'm saying? If that makes any sense. You hear it like the camera is by the hood, just focused on the whine. You hear it. That right there sold me. I don't want to do this car again because it's a hefty tag, hefty note. But you only live once, and we got it. We can afford this. We just didn't want to, but we can. Love this car. My favorite car. Oh my god. It's cool in here, but the adrenaline. That wine is crazy. And no car language. Stay tuned, more content coming soon. I'm out. I gotta get out of here. I gotta pull over. This is crazy. This is crazy. This is super crazy. If you don't believe I'm going fast, look out the window. 3 seconds ago. And now we take the take-in for a test drive. Driving the 2021 Porsche Taycan. First impression, it feels good. Definitely feels unorthodox. Just made a turn here. It feels like you could do a corner in, at 30. You kill corners with this thing. Here we go right now. And I would, it's just this oncoming traffic at the stop sign. Let's punch it. That joke. And then it's a fairly heavy car, so the braking is a bit. It's delayed. The stopping power, I guess. But it feels good, very comfortable. The way it absorbs the bumps, great. Definitely a livable situation in here. As I look around, the piano black and the flat black scheme blends perfectly. No complaints there. The insulation, very well insulated. Watch it. Yeah, that jolt. I'm not gonna lie. These electric cars with that jolt, when you step on the gas, the response is amazing. Amazing, amazing, amazing. Here we go. I heard it. I heard the tires screeching. Again, the car absorbs bumps great. This car is great. Definitely worth the 100. And I love the fact that because it's quiet, people don't hear it, so they don't notice you till you pull up. Then they notice you. It's still Porsche, so you still get that, you know, that expression for people's faces, like wow. And it's also a new model, so that Taycan model is still a wow factor. Even driving slow, Porsche executes comfortability, because I love the way that Panamera feels. Stopped at the light again. I can't stress how much I love the interior, due to the fact that it just looks very easy and clean too, for someone who likes to keep their cars neat all the time, right? Both systems sounds amazing. If you didn't get anything from this video, please, on your next purchase of any vehicle, make sure you get that Bose sound system. It is amazing. One of my regrets of my Charger is that I wish I would have went with that Bose. Bose executes their sound system. Driving around too, as far as the climate controls go, again, a lot of controversy with that. Somebody just threw a thumbs up. A lot of controversy with that, but you get used to it after a while. It's not mine, so I can't just, you know, blindly, you know, control the climate, right? But after a while, I'm gonna know where everything is, so it's nothing. And being, you know, due to the fact that you got feedback, it helps a lot. The fact that you get the feedback from the button, so you know you're doing something at least, right? If that makes any sense. I'm trying to focus here, guys. At least I'm one of those guys, right? Step on it. Yeah. I would love to be on a track with this car. This person in front of me, they left a couple seconds ago, and I caught up to them. I'm going around in circles, guys, because it's a decent block to where I could kind of step on it right now. Traffic is heavy, sorry. And I want to wait till later on, but I'm sorry. I wanna have fun with this car. It's hard to record and drive at the same time. You want to focus, right? But yeah, do I recommend this car? Definitely. The brand itself sells me, because Porsche is known for their reliability and the way the car drives as well. As I look at the back seats, it looked like Batman's suit. Almost looked like you could pull it out, right? Like it's clicked on or something. Push of a button, you get that shirt. Interior, everything looks good. Everything they well executed. I can only imagine what the turbo feels like. Slipped a little. It still has that, you know, rear wheel is rear wheel. I guess we come to find that out. Whether it's electric or gas, it still feels the same. Like you definitely feel that power coming from the back, and also the staggered wheels, right? You feel like the control is coming from the rear. Ooh, this is a nice spot. No bumps. Yeah, you'll do 100 really fast. My conclusion: would I get this car? Definitely. I'm considering purchasing an electric car. The only thing that would make me fall back, I actually would go for the wagon before I go with this one, only because space is a commodity nowadays, right? I can always use the space. I don't need it, but it's nice to know. They look similar, but the other one has more cubic feet of inches for the trunk. So that has me sold. And I'm sure they both drive equally, if not the same, right? So I would definitely consider this car. This is the charging port. This is how it looks. I'm sorry, the wind was too heavy, so I had to do a voiceover. But pretty much this is your setup here. It looks fairly easy to install. If you're knowledgeable with basic electric, you'll have no problem installing this. But if you're not, I would definitely suggest someone installing it for you. To charge the car, you push this lid open, and if you take a look at those 5 holes here, that will give you a slow charge. It'll charge the car slower. Now when you pop this cap open and you utilize all 7 prongs, that will give you a faster charge. The car comes with a slower charger with the 5-prong one, as you can see here. Now, I'm going to assume you can always upgrade to the faster charging station. Not so sure how much that costs, but you push this button here after you connect to begin charging. If they said 0 to 60 in 2.8 seconds, let's just say that's accurate. With that, I tell you everything. This car is very, very fast. It feels really comfortable, by the way. I've been driving it for a couple of days, and it's definitely a livable situation. I do not feel tired at all, and I drove it fairly well. Definitely put a nice amount of mileage in it. Shouldn't be saying that. It's not much, it's but so much miles you can put. Visibility, it's bad, but the rear view camera helps 100%. And I love the fact that you can see some wing when you take a look at that rear view camera. Nice detailed Chevy. The safety features, they surprise you. If sometimes you might press the unlock front trunk button when really you wanted to access the rear, and you might forget to close it, the car won't let you go over 26 miles an hour. Pretty cool. Something I noticed after driving this car, the seatbelt sound, it's not even annoying. It just sounds like something you don't have to respect. Quality and material, well executed, beautiful stitching. The tone in here, it's like a dark blue with blue and black mix. Everything just flows. As we're stopped here at the light, you hear some engine noise. It rumbles a little bit. Of course, it's a V8. You're definitely going to get a rumble. But it just feels really good. And again, I love the panel here with the switches. Very user-friendly, driver-focused. While driving this car for a couple of days, I didn't spend much on fuel. I believe it's like 17 gallons. So at about $269 premium, you're looking at about 40 to 45 bucks. And if you drive it normally, it'll definitely stretch. Of course, when you put it in track mode, etc., you tend to burn a little more. But even on track mode, it doesn't burn the way you would think. Let's floor it again. Hear that engine, it just screams. Wow. This is a roller coaster. Love the steering wheel. The turning radius is great as well. A little bit of body roll, but it's not bad at all. Wherever you put that steering wheel, that is where it's going. I have to say one flaw, the brakes squeak. Definitely get the brakes squeaky. I really don't like that about a lot of modern cars nowadays. It's almost like they experiment, and then the experiment one that comes out, the brake squeak. I love the seats. They keep you snug, but not a tight fit snug. Very comfortable. You can still move around. The steering is very precise. It doesn't feel stiff enough to where you feel like you're working out. This thing is incredible. This thing is magnificent. For a sports car, it doesn't feel excessive when you step on the gas. It feels normal. It feels like you're driving a normal car. As I mentioned earlier, I see a lot of other brands in this car. The car looks like a Ferrari from the side. You have the Aventador trunk lid, and the headlights, they resemble a McLaren, but it's a Corvette. And I'm not saying that in a bad way. The quality of this ride, it's immaculate. Magnificent. It feels authentic. Around the curves, it has that muscle character. You could take them, but don't get too confident, because it feels like the car will leave from under you. This car responds instantly. You definitely know it's a dual clutch by the way it shifts. You don't feel them at all. Here's our conclusion. This is by far the best bargain you can get for a two-door vehicle. I mean, for $100,000, even if they did mark up the price, you're still in supercar territory. 0 to 60 in 2.8 seconds, 475 pound-feet of torque, 495 horsepower. It's amazing. It's definitely a beautiful car, exterior, interior, performance on point. I'm definitely in the market for a two-door vehicle, and I would not exclude this one. And it also a great investment because a Corvette never really loses its value as most hypercars do. I was going to give you a tour on how this car drive. My 392, of course. This is a car if you don't keep a smile on your face, you're not stepping on it the way you're supposed to. Any fraction of a throttle, you are hearing that noise and you are speeding. Not quite, but it's just amazing how fast that speedometer moves. I currently have 1,000 miles on the car. I've had it for about a month and a half, and I gotta say, I love it. I don't want to get rid of it. I'm trying my best not to, but if you guys follow me, you'll see that I drove the C8 2020, and I'm in love. So I'm gonna try my best to stay with this and get that as my secondary two-door. You know, give y'all some more content. I'm gonna do my best. That is, of course, unless I drive something different, and I kind of like that drive better. But as far as the whole experience of the C8, I love that the most. But this right here never gets old. This is the perfect family car. It definitely looks great. It's comfortable. As you can see, we got the Alcantara with the leather, and we have the special stitching option. And we have a thicker steering wheel. I like the way the steering wheel feels. I'm somewhat over it. I've just been cruising lately, so I haven't been switching to the track mode, the sport mode. Lately, you know, if I want to switch the mode, I'll put it into sport mode. I like sport mode. It's kind of subtle, but it still gives you the feel of driving in something sport. Track is too heavy for me, at least in this car. But the 305s, you definitely feel the difference. We're gonna try to find somewhere where we could kind of step on it so y'all could hear the engine. It's a bit of traffic right now. Sorry, I got caught up talking on the phone. I meant to come out earlier. Right now with the time lapse, you know, shifting, daylight savings, it's hard to get things done while the sun is out. Atlanta is hot too. There's a lot of cops out here. A lot of APD out here. You hear it, and you hear it in here. Outside, it sounds a lot louder. A lot louder. I actually did a recording. Follow me on Instagram, car_language_easy. Go check out my lives, my video. And I did a video where my daughter was actually recording. Shout out to you, Miley, love you. You could definitely see me driving the car, and you hear it from inside of another car. It's very, very loud, and it crackles too. I love that about this car. I never noticed that you know, while you're driving inside, you never really notice the sound of the car. But when someone's driving it and you're watching it, you're listening to it, you definitely start hearing the details. The Alcantara, it keeps you snug. I love the fit. The leather just adds a nice detail, but the Alcantara is pretty much doing the comfort, playing the comfort part, rather. This is a nice little strip right here. This car handles well too on corners. I hug them and takes them corners like a champ. 15 caliper brakes, they definitely work. Maximum stopping power. This car is incredible. Get this car. Out of all the cars that's out right now, this is the one that's going to give you that fun, that enjoyment in all aspects. The braking, the handling, the speed, the sound. You know, there's a lot of cars out there faster than this, but it's just, I could never get tired of this car. I love it. From when I wake up till I go to sleep. I go to sleep thinking about this car. Like, damn, I can't believe I just drove a 2020 wide body. I wake up, yes, I'm on my way to go drive a 2020 wide body. It's an experience. I definitely recommend this car. If you don't want to get into the SUVs, this is it right here for leisure. Now, I'll admit, fuel, it's bad. It's almost like ever since they put the 305s on all corners
and wide body.
Grip's a lot better, handles a lot better than a narrow body, but it's an alcoholic. I'm actually on my way to the fuel station now. It's so fast that you don't recognize you're going over the speed limit. So you definitely want to keep your eye on your speedometer. Definitely. You won't notice that this car is going really, really fast unless you really punch it. When you're over the hundreds, that's when the car starts shaking a little bit. But even, it has to be like, you know, we're talking 150. But 120, 130, this car is as stable as a sports car. Effortlessly blending in with traffic. Effortlessly. Gas mileage is 15 city, 25 highway, something like that. I don't believe that. I don't give you the accurate numbers because it's never accurate. It's never gonna be what they say it is on paper. Believe that. But it's comfortable. I was just sitting at a light and I don't even notice. The ride is smooth. It absorbs bumps well. I got heated steering wheel, heated seats, ventilated seats. CarPlay. I love CarPlay. CarPlay is like one of the best systems they can integrate in all vehicles. It just wants you to step on it. It's almost like it's egging you on. Race, race, race. And I've seen reviews of people having them until 100,000 miles, getting over the 100,000 miles, and they don't really have any issues. I feel like the only way this car is going to give you an issue is if you start doing that upgrades. You understand? Because the car is not stock anymore. But stock, I'm sure this car could definitely reach the 200,000 mile mark. Easy, no problem. It's a strong engine. It's built to get beat. And that is why I felt like this was a good investment. The steering response, you definitely feel like you're maneuvering a big car, because it is a big car and a heavy car, but again, effortlessly. That engine does not hesitate. That throttle does not hesitate. Throttle response is definitely instant. If you notice on those windy roads where you're about to go up, don't speed too much, because I guarantee you this car will jump if you're going at 70, 80. Trust me, I've gone through small bumps at around those speeds on the interstate, doing the speed limit. And this car feels like it lift, like it jumped, like a slight hop. So be very careful. Make sure you're not, playing around too much in the rain. And that's another thing I want to address. My narrow body, when you put it on track, it was a death sentence in the rain. This car, having the 305s on all corners, I put it on track. I was so scared to do that, but it did not slip at all, at all, at all. We're gonna step on it right now. Let's just wait till we pass this intersection. No cops, no cops. Yo, this is a roller coaster on the street. You have no idea how fast I'm going. This is ridiculous. How could you not love this car? Anybody who hates on Dodge, you should be upset with yourself. This is TP right here, total package. And for the price, 60 grand, why not? This one cost me about 53. 60, you get the it's that lane assist, that option. I have the 3 blink switches here. That's the only thing I don't have, but I don't care about that. If you purchase a car, my opinion, if you purchase a car like this, you're not looking to have it help you drive. You want to drive it. You understand? That's muscle for you. I hope Dodge doesn't switch to electric unless, I don't want to go as far as saying that, but it's something about having an engine. Yes, you're burning gas, but it's all worth it when you get in here. I'm excited. I just got back from Miami Beach. I drove the C8. Loved that car. I love that car. But this right here is an experience. It's definitely an experience. The sound, the look is just, you feel, you could be the skinniest person in the world, but this car make you feel like Arnold Schwarzenegger in his prime, if that makes any sense. If you catch my drift, rather. Oh, man. And you see them out here a lot, too. I love the fact that, you see the Mustangs, you see the Camaros, and everybody just, salutes. It's like, we're rivals, but we got respect because you know what it is. We all know what it is. It depends on who's behind the wheel. Amazing, amazing. I can never get over the way this car drives. This one specifically, like I said, they executed the way this car handles. Amazing. Big upgrade from the narrow body. Big upgrade from the narrow body. Definitely. Look at that. I don't want to say too much. I'm trying my best not to kind of hot myself, but I don't slow down on corners. No problem. Effortlessly. Effortlessly. I don't slow down if I can see everything. If there's, you know, if I'm going through a corner where I can't, of course I will. You know, safety first. And that engine, it roars. Standing still, it roars. Driving normal, it roars. Fast, of course. It's ridiculous. I live in an area where a bunch of, you know, Atlanta period, you see these all the time. And that's all you hear. I live on a semi-busy street, and you could tell this sound is distinct. You definitely know that a Charger went past when you hear that sound. Thanks for watching, y'all. Stay tuned. We got a lot more content coming. Again, I don't think I'm gonna do anything to this car. I would love to straight pipe it, but again, this car is a heat seeker. You know, cop magnet. That's why I haven't put any tints on it. I love the stock look. It looks clean. It looks very clean. I've been pulled over once already. I was pulled over the second time I drove this car. Fortunately, I didn't have the camera with me, so I didn't catch that content, but I was playing loud music. You know, again, by any means, to make sure that this car belongs to you. That's their mentality. That's their reason for pulling you over. This car is hot. It's really hot. I'm sure you guys seen it. You know, a lot of this car is like top def. But thanks for watching. Stay tuned. More content coming. Comment below and let me know what car you guys would love to see me drive next. If I get 500 subscribers before 2 months, the car that's requested the most, that will be the car I will be driving. And there's a lot of cars I haven't driven for the first time, so I'll definitely record my exact first experience. From when they give me the keys, I will start recording and give you guys my first impression. On that note, I'll leave you with an acceleration. I just woke up a bunch of people right now if they're asleep. Peace, one love, stay safe, wear a mask, stay blessed. Past you, your seat. This car is smooth, very smooth. It reminds me of a Lincoln. I know there's no comparison, but Lincoln has that. We have to admit, Lincoln has always been known for their comfort. Beautiful weather out here, January 2nd, here in Miami Beach. Visibility, it's not so bad. I would have thought it'd be worse due to the fact that this is a two-door, but it's okay. Again, you have a lot of safety features on this car. Blind spot, you have driver assist, you have lane keep assist. Let's roll the windows down. Excuse me, let's roll the windows up. The controls, again, they feel very authentic. 0 to 60 time, it's 4.5 seconds. I was very shocked on how fuel efficient this car is. She picks up. She definitely picks up. I'm gonna wrap it for you guys. I love the fact that it's a 4.7. It's still a big engine. Effortlessly. She has a lot of power. Surprises you. Again, this car is heavy, yes, but effortlessly on that throttle response. And I love how you can hear a growl. You know, you're cruising, and if you have to step on it, you will hear it. Let's get on the interstate. It feels like a yacht. Cruise. This is a cloud. This is what I consider this car, a cloud. and it's amazing. It's definitely roomy. It's fairly practical. If those seats could fold down, it would have been a plus. Again, very few flaws in my opinion. The handling, again, the comfort. I drove almost 700 miles from Georgia to Miami, and when I got to Miami, I picked the car up, and you guys know that when you take long trips like that, the last thing you want to sit in is a vehicle. The moment you get to your destination, you do not want to sit in a vehicle at all. I had no choice. I picked the car up with the family, and we were all tired, and we were all surprised. Yeah, let's step on in. Oh, you guys hear that engine? Yeah, we're doing speeds right now. I don't want to mention. If you don't believe me, look outside the window. This thing is fast and comfortable fast. Another flaw, the passengers feel the ride a lot. Like, they definitely feel it. I sat in the passenger, I let the wife drive it. She loves the way it drives, but the passenger, it almost feels like, you know, the driver is speeding, which is pretty strange. And I'm gonna assume that the only reason why you feel that way is because of the bolsters. The bolsters, they activate immediately just to keep you in the chair from moving around. Again, that's an amazing feature, but it's kind of weird. I guess I'm not used to it. It's something you have to get used to. Right now, when we're on 95, this thing is just floating. I love this car. I love this car. It's a rental. Shout out to Turo. Turo is a car rental. You can rent other people's cars, not your average, you know, basic sedans. You can pretty much rent anything, and that's who I've been renting cars from. The owner of this car, he has a couple of cars. You can go check him out. His name is Brian. He's out here in Miami Beach. Very cool guy. Shout out to Brian. As you can see, it looks beautiful. Peanut butter interior definitely works. So my conclusion: would I purchase this car? I would. I'm just gonna wait till it depreciates a bit more. I don't want to go as far as saying I'm definitely considering this car, because it's not as practical as you will want it to be for someone with a family, right? But it's smooth. Another concern would be maintenance, of course. This car has a lot of sensors. Right now it has parking brake sensor. It's nothing, you know, I'm not driving with the parking brake. Obviously I wouldn't be able to, but that just goes to show sensors go out in this thing. And I'm sure it costs a fortune. Look at that. That speed is amazing. The throttle response, it's effortlessly. You can mistaken it for a four-door when you're inside. Definitely makes you feel like you're in a four-door. It's so big. I don't know, that 4.5 seconds, I don't feel like that's accurate. I would love to test it, but we're gonna go by what the numbers say, because it is a heavy car, but it feels a lot faster. Maybe because it's comforting, too comfort. Even on like local streets, this car feels good. Definitely drive local. up with everybody? Waiting for the red light. Has me curious too. I've been in a fair share of BMWs, never in an 8 Series or, I've been in a 6. The 6 feels uncomfortable, but I'm curious to see what that 8 Series feel like. I wonder if I'm gonna assume it's the competition to this, but I'm gonna put my money on Mercedes when it comes to comfort. As far as which one feels more boss, that'll be more of a preference. It becomes more of a choice. Which one, favoritism, or which one do you prefer? They're both boss, but I love this class of cars. And the only reason why I really want to push to get one, being that it has always been my dream car, again, is the fact that it depreciates and the practicality. I'm also more into muscle. I love the muscle sound. I love the aggressive muscle. It's just, something about having those brute V8s. I've had a Lincoln before, so I know what the luxury is like. It's never on a level like this, but it's very comfortable, and I just feel like you get bored after a while, but not with this. Again, it's just the other things, the pricing, of course, the maintenance, and those little things that come into play when purchasing a car like this. But I would definitely recommend it. And going back to the depreciation, 60, 70 for let's say a 2017, with that price you can get something brand new like a Camaro ZL1. Well, yeah, you can get a brand new Camaro ZL1 for 60, 70, brand new. In the 50s, you'll get a ZL1 with less than 20,000 miles, guaranteed, in the 50s. And that's where this car doesn't do it for me. The ZL1 is faster. It's not as practical, I'll give Mercedes that, and it doesn't have the, it doesn't have the drive assist, all the safety features. I'm sure you get into an accident, God forbid, in a car like this, and it'll be like a pillow fight versus a Camaro. You're probably dead. But again, it's all on preference. Even at 100, if this car didn't depreciate so much, I think, I wouldn't say it's a bargain, but I think it'd be worth it, because you see what you're getting. You hear the bumps, but you don't feel them. When you're at a stoplight and you look at the reflection of the car, it looks so good. These cars look amazing, and that is why this is always, I remember being, 8, 9, one of my favorite toy cars was an S-Class, but it was the box, it was like the 90s, so it was the box style one. Has always been my dream and my favorite car. And it's weird too for a kid to like something luxury. Usually we love the sports cars, the Lambos, Ferrari, etc. And I love all that. I can't wait to drive one. I'm itching to get my hands on one. But it's the holidays, etc. We'll get to that. And I'm sure it'll be a great experience. I've been inside Lambos, and I'm gonna be honest, I'm 6 foot tall. A Lambo is not for me at all. It's very uncomfortable, etc. And I don't know, again, it's always been like a slick look. I love slick cars, smooth cars, that smooth vibe, that just cruising vibe. Mustang behind me. It's a V6, so you can't keep up. But wow, we're doing numbers right now. If you don't believe me, look out the window. This thing moves. It moves. Oh man, I did the Porsche about 2 weeks ago. I love that. But I love two doors more. Again, we don't get one because we have a family. But this coupe is amazing. Oh, look, the Mustang was a GT. I'm telling you, don't sleep. This is not. I've seen these cars blow charges out the water, scat packs. Fast. That's what I love about them. They, it's cool, it's comfortable. It can get a little boring, but if you want to have fun, start trouble, trust me. Do not think for 1 second that you cannot. This car could be anything you want it to be, and that's why I always love the coupes, especially the S. I love the CLs too. Oh my God, I was this close to getting a CL600. Very few of those you can find with low mileage, but it was from a dealer that I'm gonna say couldn't be trusted. This is a 4.7 V8. I can only imagine what that 6.3 feels like. Ford Mustang 5.0. This is my rival, so just look at my face. I'm not gonna hate. I'm still more car, no car, but I'm psyched. This car is awesome. Should you buy it? Yes. Very yes. I kind of want one, but I'm sorry. I gotta stay loyal to Dodge. I'm loyal to Dodge. Yeah, sorry, Mustang guys. I cannot. I love this car too much. I love my car too much. Look at me. I'm trying my best not to transition, to be honest. Mustang is dope. That sound, they both sound good, but this one sounds louder. You guys are gonna say, yeah, he's gonna go to Mustang. Stopping power, it's cool. Tires made a bit thin. That's, it doesn't grip as good as the 305s on a Charger. I love the engine sound. Muscle is muscle. On the curves, this being the 2015, I guess, this was the refresh, right? I feel like this was the pinnacle to the Mustangs because they kept the same body style and they just added more tunes, etc. The GT500, the GT350, the 5.0 coming, keeping the 5.0 with the tweaks on it from prior models, more refined, faster, 0 to 60 in 4.2 seconds. But on curves, it doesn't hit the way you think. It definitely feels like the wheels are leave from under you. Definitely feels like the wheels are leave from under you. But aside from that, she drives great. She drives real good. But she, do the talk and drive review with you guys with the top off, but of course the win. Livable situation in here again. Perfect for two people. Not bad for a third. A child to sit real good in the back. Miles per gallon, 16 to 24 mpg. Not bad. If you drive it like a normal human being, you'll find yourself being okay with with the MPG. It's not bad. I don't think it's bad at all. Maybe because I'm used to it. You're talking to the wrong guy. I don't mind gas, but we pretty much drove it all day from Jersey to Long Island, and we drove around all through Long Island, and it was because, of course, we pushed it. We definitely pushed it. And that's the whole reason why I had to fuel up again. I fueled quarter life. We did a lot of driving. Long story short, we did a lot of driving this weekend. Again, would I recommend it? Yes. My only concern is people, the owners prior. So if you are considering purchasing a used Mustang, look at the records and see how many owners it's had, because there might be some tweaks. People beat these cars, they rough these cars up. So you definitely want to check the service records to make sure that the maintenance has been done for usage purposes. You want to make sure no one speed them up and they're running right. But it's a solid car. It definitely feels solid. Nothing rattling, even with 47,000 miles. There's nothing rattling in here. Again, it feels sturdy. The wheels up front are fairly worn out. The ones in the rear are brand new. So I guess Christopher, I kind of rented it before he got to do them all, and that's why it feels a bit rough. But other than that, she feels real good. And there you go. Let's take this thing out for a spin, and I'm gonna let you guys know how it drives. First impression, driving a 2020 Jeep Gladiator Sport. This is not the Rubicon. This is the basic model. I got a good deal on it. I came out here to New York, and we all are hanging out, going to a river. So I figured, hey, why not a Jeep pickup? You got your basic safety features as far as backup camera. You could turn on the camera and keep it on when you have the doors off. It helps to see traffic better on both sides. One thing I thought that was very weird is the fact that when you take the doors off, the mirrors come off with them. So you definitely have to work. Definitely got to work. Got to look, turn your head, and check out oncoming traffic on both sides. But it's a V6, nothing crazy. You got enough torque just in case you are loaded with your essentials as far as beach things, etc. Your folks, your people, your kids. Great for anyone with pets. I got the roof off currently. I hope you guys can hear me. If it sounds like I'm screaming, it's because I want you guys to be able to hear me. But it's a nice summer truck, definitely. And I'm gonna assume I don't really hear anything bad about Jeeps as far as driving them in the wintertime. This one is 4x4, no problem there. Again, that torque, you feel it when you step on it. It's not fast. The MPG is great. I believe is 1622, something like that. I think that's pretty good, considering this is a heavy vehicle, SUV at that. One thing I can't get over is that where the engine turns off to save gas. I don't know. I think that's a gimmick. I don't like it. It sounds like the car broke down and now your nerves are rattling. Is it gonna turn on again? I guess that's the old me thinking. But again, this is not something you want to hit corners. It's not a sports car. It's a truck. It's a sport utility truck, but not sport in a sense where it's fast. It's just a nice, definitely a great daily, I'll say. Even being a pickup, you can opt to the option where you get to close the back, the bed, use it as a big trunk. Again, you got a lot of, you got that long storage under the bench seat in the back. it's a nice vehicle. For the price, I think it's cool too, 33. The only thing is, when you get one of these, you got to be willing to work. You're gonna work with everything. Everything is very mechanical. The only thing I'll say is the window switches. But to take everything off, even down to opening the doors, it just feels like work. Opening from inside and out, grabbing the latches, every latch feels. But that's the cool thing about this truck. I don't know, it kind of takes you back. This is something I would recommend as like a secondary vehicle. You got your luxury and then you got your rugged. This is like a perfect rugged vehicle for someone who's not, looking for F-150 type. I think this is perfect. You got that small family that for the most part gets everything delivered and they just want to throw the chandeliers in the back and, let them worry about the couch. And would I recommend it? Again, yes. I think some people might disagree. I have a home, so I could definitely see me buying one of these and actually using it. And again, the summertime, oh man, I can only imagine it. I'm having fun just driving this thing around. Not quite summer yet, feels like summer out here. 2-3 days ago, you guys know climate change is in full effect. Global warming rather, and it was cold. I had the front top lid off, cold and everything. I felt good. It's that breeze. I don't know. It's not every day you jump into a Jeep with the roof off. So it's definitely very, very enjoyable. Like it's similar to a Charger. The Charger is basic. You got hardly any options till you step on that gas. This. Hardly any options till you take the doors off and the roof off. Now you're having a blast. Like, it's almost like you got your money's worth by just that. It might not mean much to a lot of people, but I feel like, again, it's that experience. It's something different. Like, a lot of people, my brother-in-laws, I brung it around and they was like, oh, this thing is super basic, down to the cloth seats and everything. And, then they jump in there and it's like, you see that smile, like, all right, I see why you're enjoying this. It's, again, not fast cruise, we're cruising, visibility, awesome. I guess the best, as far as anything goes, I don't think you get better visibility than that. The blind spot monitor would have been a great touch. Again, this is basic. Being honest, I ain't gonna lie to y'all, this is super basic. But definitely would recommend this. I love them. I did a review on the smaller 2-door one. It's a Wrangler. It's a 2-door. I had a great time in that, and it was stick shift. It was stick shift. Looking at the reflection right now, and I love looking at myself in the mirror. That's what I call the mirror, the reflection. So when you guys hear me say I'm looking at myself in the mirror, it's me looking at a big window, looking at my reflection. This is something you wish you had an outer body experience so you could see yourself. Because it's cool. You got people in Range Rovers and X6s, X5s, hot cars. They look at you. It's a nice, and it's not something that makes you look rich. You look cool. You look awesome. And that right there is, again, it just adds to the experience. Kids love this thing. I took my little nephews and nieces and my daughter for a ride. Oh, they was having fun. And then the day before I had the Mustang. They had fun with that, but I felt like they enjoyed this more because they were sticking their hand out, acting like they wanted to touch the ground. It's dope. It's dope. Dope, Tito. This thing is cool, man. Again, a lot of attention, but low profile, if you catch my drift. On that note, stay safe, stay tuned, more content coming soon. Car language, I'm out. I can't stress enough how beautiful it looks in here. This car is well put together. It has 60,000 miles. It's a 2014. The owner tells me he's put a fairly decent amount of miles on it. Fuel consumption, very fuel efficient. It's 27 combined. I was surprised by that number. Wasn't expecting that coming from a Porsche. You know, given that it's a V6. I love the steering. It's a slight bit loose, but it stiffens the faster you go. I love that clock. I can't get over that clock. And the speaker. Turn the radius. I just did a U-turn. And didn't have to hit reverse. I'm going on the highway right now. Step one. She moves. Slow down. Not on the interstate just yet. When we pulled over, we was trying to beat the light. Fast. She's really fast. Wow. Yeah, the sport mode. I love how it feels on the corners too. Definitely handles the corners like a champ. Wow. Comfort. Seats are a bit narrow, but no, it's definitely a livable situation in here. My girl is in the market for a car. I actually told her about this. We're gonna go to some dealers and I want her to sit in one so she could get the feel for it. I love the gauges in the dash, very informative. Visibility, it's bad, but that's a wagon for you, and the way this car is sloped, I'll take that loss. We have blind spot monitoring. For 2014, this car is loaded with the features that you need. Those pillars in the back, if you see right there, they block a lot of the rear vision. But man, the way this car feels is amazing. I'm doing a speed right now. I'm just flowing with traffic, and again, effortlessly, it's moving. No hesitation. Again, the steering. I can't get over the steering. The control stocks feel official. Porsche is just on one. I can't believe their basic trim level is so high end. This thing is loaded. Never mind the blink switches. You don't need whatever comes with that, unless I'm gonna assume, that's for speed, etc. Would I get this car? In a heartbeat, definitely. I would definitely get this car. Space, fast, fun, good for the family, even with the 4 seats. As far as I know, I'm not planning on having any children. Look at that, effortlessly. I feel like I could cut everybody. We're moving right now. We're definitely moving. You guys see it on the window. Look out the window if you don't believe me. It's fun. And I underestimated this car. The V6, again, I'm biased when it comes to my V8s. I love V8s. The V6s to me, I'm not interested anymore. The moment before I drove this, you could show me pretty much any vehicle, and if it had a V6 in there, unless it was supercharged, I wasn't interested at all. 392 versus Panamera 4. Comment below, let me know if y'all would like to see that. The 0 to 60 on this is 4.4. They're both heavy cars. I'm gonna put my money on my 392 only because I love harmony, but this will definitely get up. All-wheel drive. I'm not gonna say I can't compete with that, but we'll see. We'll see. Coming soon. We're gonna give y'all that. I'm surprised too at the fuel consumption. This thing does not burn at all. The Europeans got it. They got it when it comes to the fuel consumption. It's not the first time I've heard the European cars don't burn fuel. Not as bad as you would think. I feel like I could sit here all day. This thing feels good. It feels really good. The control stocks again. Everything just feels so tight. there, but it still feels official. Pretty much the only plastic I didn't like was the window switches. I could see me going far in this car. I love how official the paddle shifters feel. That braking is really good. Definitely responsive. 15 calipers, something to look out for. Car language, folks. If you want good braking, make sure your car has big brake calipers. It makes the car look so amazing as well. I love these bucket seats too, and this leather. Oh man, the way it looks, it's still in great condition. Great condition. Everything in here is very neat. Again, beautiful blend with the tones. You have that piano black with that polished silver, splash of chrome here and there. The combination is amazing. This car has memory seating, navigation, all-wheel drive, sunroof, leather of course. This thing is loaded. Blind spot monitoring, USB connection. This thing is loaded. And again, for the price, I'm not mad. I'm not mad at all. So we reach our conclusion. Would I purchase this car? In a heartbeat. I like it. I don't care what anybody says. This is a nice family vehicle. It's fast. It's loaded with decent options. You can't go wrong. For the price tag of around $45 to $55, it's a bargain. Thanks for watching. Be sure to share, like, and subscribe. 2018 WRX STI. Sorry guys, I'm on the slope. Gotta be careful. That's what I hate about you guys in these low cars, man. Oh man, that cab pack exhaust sounds so good. And again, this car is fast. Look, right now we're on 4th and we're going 60. Again, I'm not gonna push the car to its full potential. I'll let Omar do that. Follow him on his Instagram. I'll link it in the description below. And if you have any questions, you can either comment below and ask me and I'll ask him, or you can go straight to the source and ask him. Again, the car feels very smooth. This is all-wheel drive. For the most part, all Subarus come standard with all-wheel drive, and that's another plus from Subaru. I love the fact that their cars are just complete with your daily needs. This thing feels light. I'm so used to heavy cars, you know, the Dodges, the Camaro, and trucks. Oh man, it shifts smooth too. The car feels smooth, period. He definitely takes care of this car. This is a 2018 and it has 29,000 miles on it, so that's great mileage for this for any car. Had that. But again, it handles well. I love the shifting too. I gotta get me a stick shift car just to play with. And actually, I'm hoping, you guys know I buy and sell cars. We're gonna start implementing that in car language. And honestly, I hope to find one of these. I recently purchased a Sequoia, you know, for extra room. The way it even absorbs bumps, you don't feel them at all. Shout out to Subaru. Again, I'm blown away by how good this car drives. Visibility is amazing. Again, it comes with the safety tech. You have more into detail with the review, but I was just dying to drive this thing. It feels so good, very light. And again, the shifts, they're a bit close to each other, but not to a point where it's overwhelming, as like in the GTI Golf. I drove that car and I really didn't like the shifts because they were too close to each other. I feel like I'm in the first Fast and Furious. Like I was one of those guys at the meet in the background. I'm sure you guys hear it. And I'm not even going fast. I haven't done more than 60 on this car. Gotta say, I'm intrigued with the manuals. This car feels very good, easy to handle. That's what I love about it. The steering is a bit light, but it's a light car, so it kind of matches the character. I have no issues with visibility, by the way. Just putting that out there again. I can see everything very good. And they executed the car. The belt line is fairly low. Another thing I'm not, I gotta kind of, or rather say I miss, is the low belt line. Makes you feel like I could see curves. And these mirrors are aftermarket, definitely a great touch to the car. Gotta say, guys, for somebody who hardly drives stick, it's fun. It's definitely fun. I see what a lot of people say about, man, you're the one driving the car. I know a lot of you know this, but, and that's what I love about the Subaru. I've always liked this car, on the low. Like, it's been a car you like, but since you don't know much of, and there's just a lot more out there that looks a lot more appealing, you tend to forget about these cars, just being honest. But again, they're just so much fun. Again, the curves, you got to be doing some numbers to feel the curves. This car hugs well. Again, very well put together. Again, I'm psyched by how great this car really drives. Like, it feels real good. I definitely recommend them. Again, Subaru is known for safety and reliability. No issues there. I feel like we need to hurry up and get to where we're going. This car will get you hot. That exhaust. I must look into how my ZL1 would sound with this exhaust, with a cat back. That sound. I'm not even shifting. I'm just lightly tapping on the gas. 0 to 60 time is in the mid-5s, but I guarantee you, not this one. The owner tells me he's getting about 500 to the wheel. Again, if you see this, you better be ready, because he'll give you a run for your money. Not that we do that, just saying. I'm used to floating with trucks. This car, you gotta keep your foot on that clutch. Ride that clutch. It feels good. It feels so good. I really, this is the kind of car you just want to drive everywhere, because it feels so good. Again, the shifting, the driving aspect of it, even on wet roads. Last night it was wet from the mist and no slips at all. Love the way the car grips. Car language. Stay tuned. More content coming soon. Chilling. Driving 2014 Dodge Durango. Feels big. It's definitely not small. Sorry, riding through a puddle right here. The V8, it guzzles gas. if you step on it. I believe that's with any V8. The harder you step on it, the more you're gonna kill that fuel. That fuel is gonna burn. Again, it feels big, loud, fast. No, it's a 5.7, so it's not that fast. Don't expect, it's not a 6.4. Slight shot there, but it feels good. It absorbs the bumps excellent. Low range mode, I guess, is for better traction. Again, I've seen them to where they got sport mode and a lot more modes. I believe it's more of a gimmick. It's all-wheel drive. It handles well, and this is not for rock climbing, etc. That's what the Jeeps are for. This is more your family, everyday, practical SUV. The curves, I like how the center of gravity is high, but it doesn't feel like it'll flip over at high speeds. Visibility is great, very, very amazing. No issue there. I love the response throttle. Again, for a 5.7, it's not fast, but this is kind of the one you want when you don't want to have excessive fun, right? You get the 5.7. When you want something really fast, then you step up to a Hellcat or a 6.4, etc. But I love the response throttle, and it's appealing. It's definitely an appealing SUV. People definitely look at you. You get looks. And that's kind of why I like this one over its competitors, the 4Runner, etc. I believe this is like a perfect package. And again, this is a 2014, so for the price, you definitely get what you pay for. I want to get on the highway, guys, and show you how this thing does. Would I get one? Definitely. I'm going to try my best to only review cars I would purchase. We'll do everything, but for the most part, I want to drive what I like. Here we go. Let's get on the highway and show you guys what this thing does. I know you guys hear it. It sounds really, really good. How fast I'm going. Look out the window. She moves though. I guess the 0 to 60 time on this is in the 6 seconds. Not bad for a very heavy vehicle. I'm sure this thing weighs 5,000-6,000 pounds easy. Again, it's very, very smooth. Very smooth. She handles well. She's big, but athletic. Perfect summary. Again, my brother-in-law, he's had it for 2 years, 2,000 miles. He's putting the mileage on it. You're supposed to want a vehicle. He says he loves it, and I see it in him every time he talks about it. He cracks a smile. Again, because he has 2 kids, it's complete. Again, it's the one you want. You have a 3rd kid, boom. You don't have to upgrade or downgrade. This is perfect. Fuel, it's manageable. Again, don't be scared of the fuel. The fuel is not bad at all. Right now we're doing 70 and it's smooth, very smooth. It's starting to look dated, but the good thing is Dodge doesn't really change them much. And by them putting a Hellcat engine in the Durango, for the people that can't afford that one, they'll get this one and kind of live with that in their head. Like, well, I don't got the Hellcat, but at least, I have one that looks like it. Brings me to my conclusion. I recommend this truck. Again, there are a couple issues here and there that I hear about people having. The main one is the radiator. I've heard a couple of people say they had issues with the radiator. but that's fairly cheap. The tail lights are expensive. My other brother-in-law, he told me about his tail lights. They went out, and it's one piece, so it was $1,800. The tail light itself. That's expensive. That's a lot. This thing moves. Let me slow down before I get locked up. But yeah, you guys, this is definitely something to consider if you're out shopping for an SUV for a drive. Driving the Tesla Model Y performance. Why they have you saying that twice is beyond me, but we're not gonna get into that. We'll let Elon Musk explain. Love the panoramic roof. That is one of my favorite features. Is two things that I love about these modern cars, which is the panoramic roof and the pillarless doors. Those are like two things I can't get over. Let's step on it right quick. This thing feels like a plane taking off the runway. That's what it sounds like. I hope you can hear me. Road noise, I'm gonna assume that's due to the fact that these are 20-inch wheels. If they were smaller and maybe had some more meat on them, you probably hear the road less, but insulation is great. Right now I'm gonna do a U-turn and show you guys the turning radius. It's great. It's definitely great. Here we go. And as you can see, effortlessly turning. Step on it again. That's something that doesn't get old. You catch up with traffic real quick. And I love that about the modern cars nowadays. It's becoming a bit, how do you say, insanity. Where does it end? The Plaid is doing 0 to 60 in 1.9 seconds. This, to be a family car, is doing 0 to 60 in 3.5 seconds. This is ridiculous. Like, your baby might be all over the place. After your wife just finished giving birth. It's like putting a frog in a jar and shaking it. The car is amazing. I love the steering. The steering is definitely precise. Definitely for a vehicle this size. How do you not speed in this car? I've heard people already tell me. I went to Chipotle, got some food from Chipotle. Shout out to Chipotle. I love Chipotle. And the guy over the counter, he said he got a ticket in a Model 3. I believe it. So be careful, guys. Be very, very careful. Make sure you get a radar. You're gonna need it. And then the scary part about these EVs, there's no sound. So the cops, they're not hearing it. You might be going so fast they might not even see it. Take the 21-inch wheels off. Incognito. The stock controls surprisingly feel really good as well too. They feel sturdy. They definitely don't feel cheap. They appear to be a bit cheap, but they feel good. Just being honest. The only reason why I wouldn't consider this car is because they're too common. I like something a bit more subtle, low key. But from driving it and experiencing the Teslas, you can see why they are common. It's just an all-around great vehicle. Practicality, performance, no gas. You understand? My only gripe would be someone living in an apartment. I don't think it'll work for you because I can't constantly be going to a charging station. That's just my opinion. You could definitely want your house first. Here at the stop sign, I'll stop, take a look real quick, and I don't feel uncomfortable. I also don't feel like, it might be cheap in here, but it looks good. Everything is well put together. Again, I love the insulation. Visibility is great. Steering is great. I love the fact that, again, you have some controls on the steering wheel to control your needs, your music, the volume, of course, and navigation. Yes, you're taking your eyes off the road to take a look at the main screen, but it's not as bad as you would think. You get used to it. It's a decent curve. I can't wait to see what these muscle cars are gonna do as far as the EV goes, because this thing is up to par by a long shot. On the dig, I'm an American muscle car guy head. On the dig, Tesla got us. I'm sorry, that might be a bit controversial, but you got to give credit when credit's due. Tesla knocked it out the ball with this. And again, being the Y, it's the perfect family car. I really, I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I want one. Yesterday, I said, let me not get ahead of myself, because I love my combustion engine, and I'm not in any point in time trading in my ZL1 for one of these. Sorry, Elon. It's amazing. I love it, but I need my combustible engine. I love my ZL1. But this is gonna be my secondary car. And again, the X is cool, but I believe is too flashy for me. I believe the Y is that one in the middle. The 3 is too small. The S is a car. I love the space in the back. Again, perfect for those who have animals as well. This is to me, if I was to rate this car, I'll give it an 8.5. That 1.5 negative for me, I'll explain in another video. I'll do a separate video on, there's very few things that I don't like about this car. And again, it's only a matter of time before they work out those kinks. And yeah, they're very light kinks. It's just someone who's been in fairly decent cars, you can see the difference. On that note, I hope you enjoyed the video. Like, comment, subscribe. Stay tuned, more content coming soon. Car language. I'm out. Team for a spin. My thoughts on the driving. Love it. Smooth, a bit. You feel the bumps. They don't absorb. The bumps is good. Because of the 22s, I'm gonna assume these are some big wheels. Yeah, it's a big truck, but that don't really matter when the tires are, fairly small for the wheel. But it's smooth. I'm an aggressive driver. I'm gonna be honest. Ever since I started driving this thing, I do the speed limit, if not 5 under. You guys are gonna hate me if you see a white Escalade with paper plates. Just pass by me. Because I am not in a rush. Even if I was in a rush, I'm not driving in a rush, because this thing just drives so smooth and it feels so boss. It's like moving the White House. The White House on wheels. Love it. We got lane keep assist. Last night there was an accident, a few exits up ahead. It popped up, told me that there was an accident up ahead. We got that crash prevention, crash alert, or it has that feature as well. Again, for 2016, this thing was definitely very, very optioned out. We got blind spot monitoring. Again, we got the front view camera. We got sunroof. As you can see, the leather is beautiful in here. Everything is just correct. And you understand, it's a truck, but we just went over like a little hump, and it felt like it wanted to jump a little bit. So the torque is there. Miles per gallon, 15, 24, something like that. I've been getting 18. Love the gas mileage for a big truck like this. The MPG is great. Surprisingly, it's great. And I used to hear a lot of bad things about the MPG on this truck. That it was this, it was worse, it was the worst in its class. I don't know. I disagree. I felt like the Tahoe, I remember driving the Tahoe. It wasn't as new, but it was like 2012. it was worse than this. Obviously, it was a 2012, but again, this had no issues. I think it was like $70 at like 340 premium, of course. This thing doesn't feel like it's breaking your pocket, and again, that's just a plus. So many plus on this car. I love it. I love this truck. I definitely recommend one. If you're out there looking for an SUV, you can't go wrong with the Cadillac Escalade. Of course, there's many of them. You guys know that I don't like to purchase a car that's common. I'll take the loss with this. Even being old, of course, the new one's out. Beautiful truck, beautiful front. They renovated the whole truck with the exception of the tail lights, but it's a beautiful truck. This has what I want and what I need. It's definitely loaded with everything you need and want. I want to step on it, guys, but it's a Ford in front of me. We don't rock with Ford. Watch my other videos. Right now I currently own a Camaro 2019. For those of you who's following me, I know I don't want to sound like a broken record, but for those who don't know, I'm navigating towards GM Motors. I gotta say, they executed it. What is it? An Expedition, not to throw shade at Ford, but it's nowhere near occupied. Of course, that's not their luxury brand, but let's say, a Navigator. A Navigator is the competition to the Escalade. Honestly, the Escalade to me has a bit of a better presence, and it has like more of a boss look. Even though that new Navigator is a beautiful truck. I kind of wanted that 2-3 years ago. I just kept always talking about that truck, but recently I said I want an Escalade, and I feel like I didn't make the wrong move. Again, we might have some issues. I hear that this thing has issues, but I have warranty on it, and I have a maintenance package, so I'm not really concerned about that. Everything is covered. One thing that took me by surprise was the turning radius. I'm gonna make a U-turn right now and show you guys. There's a 2-lane on the other side. This is a bad place to do a U-turn. Yeah, I don't like the fact that traffic can't see me. Well, there's a blind spot, but check this out, guys. Look how great that was for a big SUV. That was perfect. Like, that took me by surprise. Again, the response throttle too. Definitely everything down. The MPG, the response throttle. It's a big 6.2 engine, but it's quiet. It's just everything flows to me so perfectly. Again, maybe because I've never been in an Escalade. I've been in Escalades before, but I never owned one, so I never really got to kind of play with them. I'm in love. I gotta say, I'm not disappointed at all. So far, so good. Again, it's only been 3 days, so it's but so much, that I could say about it. But I think this wasn't a bad decision. I love the truck. I've been telling you guys that me and my wife, we've been looking for vehicles, and I told her I wanted to get this. The Tesla is probably still in the works, but we have a large family, so I wanted the extra room with that torque. And you hear the engine. You hear the engine, but it's not like Charger and Camaro loud. It's just so smooth, so smooth. And people look, people definitely look. I don't know, this Escalade defines success. We don't want to bang corners, but it's fairly decent on the corners. Doesn't feel like it's gonna flip over. It's just, you got you're in a high center of gravity, so it makes you feel a little uncomfortable if you're speeding through curves. This is the fastest, to be honest, I've ever been on it. Only because I'm doing this review, but I really don't drive this truck like that. Look, right now with some light corners, and it feels good. Insulation is amazing. You definitely are how do you say, disattached from the world when you're in here. She's not looking. I'm trying to give her a pass. I am a gentleman, but she feels good. Steering is very vague. of course, for a truck like this, is luxury, so it has to be that. And comfortable as hell. This is definitely a livable situation. I could see me going far out in this SUV. Definitely. Still grips. You know, it's rear-wheel drive, but it has that active system where it reads the road. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Stay tuned, more content coming soon. Car language.